we're representing everybody. We're giving everybody a glance of what maybe could have been, you know? Everybody can watch this and see themselves on screen, you know, because they used makeup back then almost like masks, you know? And if we'd have started sticking the little patches all over the face and it just, yeah, I don't think it would have worked. I don't think we'd be sat here now talking.
Please accept my apology. If I had known that you were you.
You would have what? Not told me that you were trying to escape?
Well, yes. I mean, I do apologise, Your Majesty.
George. Just George. The king situation, it towers over us. Accident of birth on my part. But I thought maybe perhaps as my wife you could ignore it and I could be just George to you. That was, of course, before I found out that you do not want to be married to me.
I did not say that.
Oh, you did.
I did not.
You did?
It is not... I do not know you.
I do not know you either. Except that you are terrible at climbing a wall.
You try climbing a wall in all of these garments.
I always knew I wanted to be a designer. I always loved character creation. I was like fascinated how it can change an actor or aid an actor or, you know, just creating something from another time or period. So I was lucky. I was in a company, independent television, that I managed to go from trainee to assistant to supervisor to designer. So I worked my way in the television system. So Queen Charlotte, they approached my agent and asked if I would like to interview for the job. I absolutely jumped at the chance and said yes. So I was working on another project. So we did the interview. I think I did it from a hotel room in the evening, and I met Tom Verica, Sarah Fisher, Betsy, and Anna, as they asked me questions about characters and how I worked as a designer and what my team would be, and that was it. And they offered, which I'm grateful for. The main inspiration was to tell a personal story, to create a hair journey for Queen Charlotte. Obviously, we know how Queen Charlotte looks in Bridgerton, so we had to work backwards, and the inspiration really was India, the casting. I wanted to represent textured hair. I thought it was really important to put this into the storyline. And then the scripts came and it felt very real. So the inspiration was really textured hair. I'd have to say the texture and the personal journey of a young woman turning into a queen and into that society, and how she came to be and where she ended up. That was the inspiration. So basically she arrives in her own textured hair, and then through the storylines we knew that we had to kind of get to a place where, you know, the Regency Queen Charlotte to go into the big wigs. So we knew we had to take the young Queen Charlotte from kind of A and that's B. So we gradually progressed her from a day look to a night look. And then when the balls came along, we gently pushed her into the bigger period style. And then obviously the Queen Charlotte Regency had a different storyline, and her wigs were created basically upon the drift of the storyline, the arc of the storyline. The first few wigs that you create are always kind of the test wigs, and you're getting, because also we needed to have hold of Golda and India, and they came to us quite late. So once you establish your first key looks, then it's much easier then to think about the next script that's coming in and the next scenes and how many wigs you need for that episode and what the storylines are for that episode. So then you kind of get into a rhythm, and I always made the decisions basing on entwining the two characters together. So we always kept, it was a purposeful choice to keep them in one colour. So India would be in her natural hair tones and Golda would always be in silvers and greys. And it made it really easy for us then because they become very identifiable. These wigs have to last for the duration of the shoot as well. Whereas synthetics, we're still discovering what we can do with them. You know, how we can, so basically we boil them because you're changing the shape of the plastic. Basically it's acrylic, so you're just changing the shape. So we skewer it up and then we boil or steam them, so that once we take the skewers out and then we unpick the curl, and then we may take the clippers and then clip the shape into the wig. So there's so many different, depending on what texture we were aiming to achieve, we would do tests on trying how we can get that texture the best. The thing about this period is they wanted flawless skin. They just didn't know how to achieve it back then. So that, you know, so we did bring in flawless skin into the show by using powder, but we used the right tone of powder for the right skin tone. You know, I'm really pleased with how the hair and makeup look for the show. You know, it's like we took flavors of the period and we put them into the show, but we also created our own look, which I think was really important. Look at the images throughout history of hair and makeup and the transformation of film and television, and it's forever changing. You know, you're forever learning. There's always something, and you'll never, in your whole career, when the day you retire, you will never cover all the elements because there are just too many to cover. You know, you could work on 100 shows and you'll still get asked to do, your next show could be totally different from the show that you've just worked on. It's the forever changing nature of hair and makeup. There's moments where we all want to look like somebody else or look like something, and hair and makeup gives you that. You can, you know, just with a wig or a change of, you know, eyeshadow, or, you know, whether it's prosthetics or any part of hair and makeup, it's the transformation, and it's what it brings for the actor as well. It enables them to create a new character.